All right, we're back. Bush League Boys, episode 14. As you can see, we got a special guest today, the one and only Nick. You want to tell them where you're coming from, where they can find you?
What's going on, everybody? My name is nicktheriault12. I stream on Twitch. I post content on TikTok, YouTube, as well as Instagram. And yeah, those are all my links where you can find me at.
We'll throw them down below.
Everything. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
W-Mans.
W-Mans.
Through a pretty sweet co-op tournament a few weeks ago where me and Chris got our pants pulled down by Randy Johnson in co-op. But
that was horrid.
I got a closet back there, and there's a Randy Johnson hate shrine right inside. You open it up, it's just candles everywhere, upside down pictures of Randy Johnson, dead birds.
Oh man.
Gotta have the birds.
Anywho, but yeah, so we'll jump into some updates from the league real quick as we do. Not a hell of a lot going on. This is usually kind of the calm before the storm for the most part, as far as the off season goes.
Gonna start ramping up, dude. Pitchers and catchers report this week. Exciting.
Yeah.
So stoked for that.
Yep.
Yeah. Truck day was last week, 2 weeks ago. So they're down there, get it going. Today. They report, and my birthday's tomorrow, so like everything. It's just this week is great. If my birthday's the worst. It's Valentine's Day, but the silver lining is pitchers and catchers reporting. so yeah. But yeah, so speaking of pitchers and catchers, pretty much all the deals outside of one really that we noted were all pitchers. So yeah, Christian Javier going to the Astros. I think it was like 6 years, $80 million, which is like
see that.
Fucking highway robbery.
Yeah.
For Christian, probably 2-3 years time he's going to be a top 5 pitcher in baseball. So that's highway robbery for them. Yu Darvish gets a 6-year extension. I don't know what the numbers were on it.
I have it right here.
Okay.
It was 6 years, $108 million.
108.
Good for him. I mean, he was great last year for them. So, and
I don't know if this dude thinks he's like Justin Verlander, but that contract takes him into his age 42 season. So
really, I didn't realize he's 36. Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're gonna have Xander sharing walkers.
Yeah.
I don't know what the Padres are thinking. They have guys coming up on contracts this year that they're going to have to re-sign.
Well, I think that you're going to see like in 6-7 years time, the Padres are going to be paying out like $100 million a year to guys that aren't even playing because they're all going to be retired, and they're just going to have backloaded contracts that are.
It's a Bobby Bonilla style.
Exactly. The new school Bobby Bonilla is Chris Davis with the Orioles. Not quite as aggressive, but not good. And then we said David Peralta to LA, right?
Yep, I believe
that's a good sign for them too. I think it's a good
Belly's gone, so I guess it's.
I think they got him for like, isn't it like
$6 million, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like 1 year, $6 million. So that's pretty low risk, pretty high upside on that. I feel like
adds a lot of depth to their bench and everything as well.
Yeah, for sure. And is he lefty or am I?
Yeah, he's a lefty.
Yeah. So I mean, every team can use extra left-handed bats, especially the Dodgers. Now they don't have Belly, pretty right-handed heavy lineup. Pretty much Freddie's the only one I can think off the top of my head that's not already. But yeah, what else?
Right. Other news, just some WBC stuff. Rosters are apparently finalized, even though Nestor got hurt, but that's going to change.
Nestor just came out and got hurt today.
Ryan Lavarnway is catching for Team Israel again.
I knew that, yeah.
Like, that dude's knees have to be absolutely shot. That dude's like 64.
That's true. Like, I for the Red Sox in like 2008.
Yeah, no, it's definitely been a while. And then Daniel Bard, kind of like a feel-good story, finally makes it back to the league, absolutely dominates, and now he's going to pitch for Team USA.
Kind of full circle Daniel Bard moment today. I'm scrolling Instagram, and a random like reel pops up, and it's Daniel Bard giving up back-to-back home runs to the Yankees in Yankee Stadium in like 2010.
Yikes.
The Sox are up 2-1, and it's Damon Teixeira go back-to-back against them. I was like, well, Glad Danny Bard's
So
doing a
that's
little better.
throwback.
Yeah, that's a player we need in MLB to show. Mark Teixeira.
Teixeira, yes,
Yeah.
100%.
I will sacrifice Johnny Damon for Mark Teixeira all day.
Oh, Johnny Damon could go.
with his 32 power
Oh, and his 17 arm. Dude,
and his
throws
one DUI.
lollipops.
What do you? I thought
think
he
it
had
was-
more.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was more. There's just one that was on video.
One that you heard, what you've seen at least.
Yeah.
I think there's been at least 3 for Johnny Damon.
Minimum. He's going for the cycle. He needs one more.
Yeah. And then last one that I had was Mass native Sal Frelick playing for Team Italy
Very nice.
from
Very
Lexington,
nice.
right down the
Really?
road.
No kidding.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh.
Cool
Well,
stuff.
a couple weird ones. I just noticed that Lars Nupar is playing for Japan.
Yeah.
I think he was born on like a military base in Japan or something like that. Because he's
I
not
thought he
actually.
had descendants from Japan.
Oh, maybe it's like I think maybe
Maybe.
you're right. I think maybe or was that Yelich that his like grandfather was Japanese or something like that. It could be the same for both of them, honestly. Because I know
Yeah,
Yelich
it
is
could be.
eligible for Japan too.
Another
yeah.
one is Alex Reyes, Cardinals reliever, signed with the Dodgers for a year.
They're gonna rebuild the hell out of him.
Yeah.
That's a pretty full circle signing right there. Wasn't he the one that gave up the home run to Chris Taylor?
To Chris Taylor, yep.
Yeah. Funny.
Funny.
They make Chris
There
Taylor
was-
nice condos.
There was a trade that happened this week.
Was there? Did I miss it?
Anybody?
You're gonna say it. I'm gonna know it.
Yeah, it was AJ Puck from the A's
Oh,
for
yeah.
JJ
Oh
Bleday.
yeah.
Kind of a
not the
weird
biggest
trade.
news, but
It's
Kind of
something.
a weird trade.
It is something.
I mean, I guess I like it better for the A's than I do the Marlins. I think because they have decent pitching prospects, but outside of Shea Langoliers, they don't have anybody else.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to bring in because I think Bleday is already in the MLB, right? He played a full season last year, I think.
Yeah. Or he's been in the MLB for sure.
Yeah.
Just one more thing before we move on. Cam, get John Hyman's ass out of this analyst tweets part of our Discord, because if this dude tweets anything about basketball or football again, I might drop kick him.
Hey, you know who's that? Oh, sorry. I don't know if you guys heard the whole controversy where they copyrighted the beep, the event that happened last night. You're not supposed to say it now.
Yeah.
So everyone's
you can't
referring to it
say
as
it.
the big game. But
Yeah.
Boob Newton Good was at the big game last night. So
Was he? Good for that
shouts
guy.
out Boob Moms.
Boo bumps, yep.
No, I was
Classic.
ready to remove him during the what was it, arbitration day, where he just tweeted every 2 minutes.
Oh, every single arbitration. It'd be like guys who are like hitting arbitration for like AAA deals. I'm like, dude,
Leave it alone.
I don't need to know about Francisco Cervelli reaching arbitration. Like, not
Cool.
Cervelli.
I remember
He's
that
48
day.
years old, so he didn't hit arbitration.
No, fucking Brian McCann coming out of retirement.
Oh yeah, that's right. With James McCann, and he kept tweeting Brian McCann over and over. Classic,
Fucking
Classic boob.
classic boob. But yeah, I think you got anything else, Chris? That kind of wraps up.
No,
the-
yeah, that was pretty
Yeah.
much everything that was in
Yeah,
there.
figure next week we'll probably dive into the WBC rosters and maybe give some predictions.
Yeah.
Heavy.
I mean, I don't really think we need to make predictions. Dominican Republic's going to probably just sweep
Absolutely
the floor with
steamroll
everybody.
And over
Yeah.
everyone
I
else.
think it's going to be the DR and the US personally.
Yeah, well, I was talking to my dad about it. I was
Yeah.
like, if you fielded that Dominican Republic team, they probably win the World Series every year. They probably win 110 games and just
You only giving them
sweep the
110?
postseason. Minimum. I mean, what do you want? Like 130?
I mean, they're going to shatter the record.
Yeah.
Well, their pitching staff is like otherworldly.
Yeah.
It's like 4 of the top 10 pitchers in baseball.
All right, that's a subject for next week.
Indeed. So yeah, we're gonna run through the final. So I tabulated all the standings for the Red Sox Mount Rushmore from last week. So basically, what we did years with the team, WAR, OPS plus / ERA plus, hits or /Ks, home runs /wins, RBIs / innings pitched, MVPs / Cy Youngs, Gold Gloves, and All Star games. Basically, the winner of each category. Based on your placement in the category, if you finish first, you got 4 points. Second, 3 points. Third, 2 points. So on and so forth. So I'll kind of go through the each category with the winners, and then I'll give the final results. And kind of side note, to make it fair, I came up with a metric to kind of balance out all the pitching and hitting stats using like all-time records. So I came up with a factor that I could basically throw in, and it fixed those. So got as close as we could.
Essentially made it too complicated.
Well, not really. Like, so basically what I did is I tried to normalize the data, because you got like the hits and Ks didn't add up, because you got because Roger Clemens like played 16 years for the Red Sox, and he was like, he had 1,600 Ks, and you're like, how the fuck, like he's the best pitcher in Red Sox history and only had that much. So anyways, so down the line, with years spent on the team, so tenured years, I led that category with 67. WAR, Cam led that one with 245.3. OPS plus, ERA plus was again Cam with 165.5, with Pedro and Ted Williams pretty much carried you there. Hits and Ks, I led with 84.79. Home runs and wins, I led with 13.64. RBIs, innings pitched, I led with 50.59. MVPs in size was Chris with 5. Gold Gloves was Chris with 8, literally just because Dwight Evans had 8 Gold Gloves.
Value pick. It was a value pick.
Yes.
It was a value pick.
And then Cam squeaked out All-Star games with 38 total, and I had 36. Shout out Jared, didn't take a single category. Completely bombed it.
He tried his best.
So ultimately,
the dog team.
After tabulating everything, we'll go bottom to top. With the purple medal participation, as you guess, is Jared with 14 total points. It's tough. Making the podium with the bronze is Cam with 21.5. I finished in second with 24.5, and in first, Chris with 28 gets the gold. The crazy thing is, you didn't lead a single category or two categories. You led two non-statistical categories, but you finished second in like every single one.
Gold Gloves
and MVPs and Cy Youngs just because of Roger Clemens.
See?
But yeah, so that's the metrics and what kind of added up. We're going to kind of keep a running tally.
You guys are all playing checkers. I'm out here playing chess.
Oh, please,
I don't even know how to play chess.
You beat me by 2 points, you wiener.
I beat you by 3.5. Thank you.
Yeah, you.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so that's how it shaked out. Shaked out, whatever we want to say.
Shook out.
That's how it shook out for last week's Mount Rushmore. We're going to do the same thing for this one. We'll announce the results next week. Yeah, I think that kind of runs it down. We're hopefully going to kind of, over time, we're going to keep doing these and eventually hit all 30 teams. We'll have guests here and there, but basically we're going to keep track of overall points for us three. And then at the end of the 30, we'll have like there'll be some prize for the winner or something. Get a trophy or make you butt chug something. I don't know.
Anywho, on to this week's.
You think it sounds like a punishment. I think it sounds like a good time.
God.
So, yeah, let's jump right into this Royals Mount Rushmore. We're going to ask Nick first. How long have you been a Royals fan for?
I've been a Royals fan since 2008, so...
The tough years.
You know, I've experienced a lot of the
ups and downs.
Yeah.
There's some peaks and valleys in there for sure.
just the 2 years. Just the 2 years, and then everything crumbled afterwards.
Oh, is it 14, 15, right?
14, 15, yeah.
14, 15, yeah. Cool. All right. Well, yeah, let's jump into the draft. Chris, would you like to announce the draft order that we drew before?
Sure thing. With the number 1 overall pick this year.
This year? This week? This year?
Sam Gallagher. Number 2 will be Nick. 3 will be Cam, and rounding it out will be myself.
Didn't you have the last pick last week too?
You did, indeed.
But it's not bad because of the snake.
Yeah.
So we kind of luck out because, I mean, the first 2 rounds I get boned because I go 1 pick and then I go 7 picks before I
see. First 2 rounds I'm in a decent spot, and then after that,
I get the best player in Royals history without a doubt, and that is the one and only George Brett. That's why I'm taking my first pick. I'm sure that's an absolute shock to the system. I'm sure you weren't expecting it was a total curveball. But dude literally he leads the Royals in every single offensive category. You see how many years he played for them. I want to say 18, but I could be wrong.
Like it was it 20 plus?
It could
21 years.
21, yeah, he played for a damn long time. Won an MVP, 13-time All-Star, 85 World Series, won a Gold Glove, 3 batting titles, 3 Silver Sluggers, won an ALCS MVP, and I don't know why they list Major League Players of the Year. I don't even know who the frig gave that out. TSN, Nobody cares about Toronto Sports Network.
Well,
No offense to the Canadian, but.
And on that note, that is the end of episode 14 because there is nobody else worthwhile.
Hey, you put some respect on Gerard Dyson's name.
That's
Nick's like, that's my number one pick.
I might have to go with that.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's the franchise leader in stolen bases, to be honest. But yeah, so I'm rolling George Brett. That pick doesn't really need explaining. He led the world in pretty much everything. He hit, what was it? 1980, almost hit 400.
390.
Yeah,
Lee led the Royals in every offensive category, including epic meltdowns.
That's all time. That's all time.
Where
right
he almost
he also
ripped off that umpire's face.
He also leads MLB history in most pine tar applied to one singular piece of wood.
Incredible.
Listen, I'm a big George Brett guy, so
yeah,
we can bust him. He's one of my favorite players of all time, so all about it. Glad I got him. Doesn't need any more explaining. George Brett, numero uno overall.
All right. Nick, you're on the clock.
This one might seem a little bit off because I feel like most people would probably pick Brett Saberhagen or Kevin Appy or Willie Wilson. I'm going to go with Frank White.
Ah, you son of a...
Damn it.
He won 8 gold gloves.
Yep.
Won 8 gold gloves and 5 All-Stars, and I believe he was also a Silver Slugger at one point.
He was.
He did win a Silver Slugger, so that's my pick, Frank White.
One
of the most underrated defensive second baseman in history.
I had him third on mine. So that was my third. So he's up there for sure. That is a good pick. When I was looking at a lot of the all-time lists, he was listed like top 5 everywhere. So
yeah, I looked at a bunch of them too.
So
yeah,
never heard of him previously.
He's very underrated. Very underrated.
All right, so Cam, you had the 3 pick, right?
All right, yeah. For a third pick, I'm taking Willie Wilson.
Willie Wilson or Willie Nelson?
No, Willie Wilson. Not Willie Nelson. 2-time All-Star. He won a Gold Glove, 2-time Silver Slugger, won a batting title, 15 years with the Royals. In those 15, had 612 stolen bases with them.
Okay, maybe Gerard Dyson doesn't have the...
I was going to say it whenever you were talking about that, but I just
612 has got it. That's like top 5 all time. It's got to be up there, right? Because isn't Lou Brock like 700 something?
I think Lou Brock's in the 800s.
So it's still pretty. I mean, nobody's ever going to get Ricky, but
no, never.
That's still pretty. That's got to be up there all time, though.
At least top 10.
Yeah. Let's see. No, don't want to do it on this one. All-time stolen base leaders. We should be sponsored by Baseball Reference.
Get that sponsorship.
Number 12 all time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Number 12. Oh.
A lot of guys in the 700s. So yeah, Ricky was 1400. That's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Lou Brock 938. Billy Hamilton, not the Billy Hamilton of now. This is Billy Hamilton from like the 1890s. 914. Ty Cobb had 897. I forgot Tim Raines has a lot too. He was legit. Vince Coleman, Arlie Latham, Eddie Collins, Max Carey, Honus Wagner, and Joe Morgan are the guys ahead of him. That's pretty good company. That's a lot of Hall of Famers. So,
yeah,
good pick. I respect it, Cameron.
Thank you. Not Willie Nelson. Remember that.
I'm like dyslexic or something because I literally wrote on my list his name was Willie Nelson.
I just like the same thing.
That's pretty cool.
Chris, round it out.
I mean, you all suck. You took
Saberhagen?
the 3 that I had for I mean, it has to be Saberhagen. 2 Cy Young awards with the Royals, 85 and 89. 3-time All-Star, helped them win a championship, their only championship in 85.
That's not their only championship,
isn't it?
2015.
You bitch.
Okay.
The fuck?
So
one of the most forgettable World Series of all time.
Sorry.
I don't know.
But it counts.
Who was playing shortstop? Alcides Escobar? Was he on the team at that point?
All I remember is the play where Hosmer took home and Lucas Duda threw the ball away.
That was just
that.
Lucas Duda. That's a name I haven't heard in forever.
What about Daniel Murphy? His 3 botches in the World Series.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was pretty awful.
Didn't he have a really bad one with the Mets? Or am I thinking of somebody different?
One.
Yeah,
it was that one.
Yeah, it was that one.
Yeah.
It was that one. He was at second base.
Yeah.
I felt like that was one of the weirdest series because it just felt like it was the Royals series, but the Mets just like sucked the whole time, but just hung around, figured out a way to just be there still.
It should have just been more competitive because they had Harvey, they have Syndergaard, they had Jacob deGrom, a young Jacob deGrom, and they had Jerry's Familia, one of the best closers in the National League at that time.
Yeah, and now he played for the Red Sox and couldn't throw the ball over the fucking plate.
Hey, listen, all I gotta say is the Mets will always Met.
Yes, they
Mets
will.
are gonna Met.
I agree.
Yeah. So Brett Saberhagen, Chris, you get to double up on the snake. Coming back
so I'm gonna go with a pick here that worked in my favor last time. I'm gonna go with the second pitcher. I feel like that's kind of a meta here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Dennis Leonard. Honestly, I had no idea who the fuck this dude even was until I looked him up. So he has 144 wins for the Royals, which is second all time in team history. This dude threw 103 complete games in 12 seasons with 23 shutouts. That's kind of goony.
Yeah, that is goony.
That's a lot.
They had some sneaky good pitchers when I was looking at it. They had some guys back in the 80s that were studs.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this dude's picture right now, and I wish I could be him. Electric flow coming out the back, absolute porno stash on the front. This dude's
let me see this.
He's pitching, and his right knee is literally touching the ground. It's like he's literally throwing off his knee. I'm like,
where are you seeing this picture on Baseball Ref?
No, it's on Bleacher Report. But
this guy looks like a fucking stallion.
I'm like, God. This dude was definitely slinging baseballs and slinging dick at the same time. Like, he was bagging any bitch he wanted after the game.
His facial hair is phenomenal. Those sideburns had me feeling some
I agree, yeah.
Absolutely electrifying. So Dennis Leonard is my second round pick.
Respectable. So it comes back to Cam on the snake.
Yeah. I'm going to follow Chris and take a
Don't
pitcher.
do it. Don't.
Paul Splitorf.
Yeah.
Oh,
wait.
It's a good pick.
We skipped over a pretty good one, but we'll let it slide.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure. I thought his first name was Dan.
No, that's Dan Quisenberry.
Yeah.
So I'm dyslexic, I guess. I don't know.
Anyways.
That's Splitorf was who I was going to take.
88 complete games and 17 shutouts with the Royals.
Leonard better.
He's the franchise leader in, I believe, both wins and
innings pitched. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Just insane.
So that's some points for you on the board right there that you're not going to get from anybody else. So,
Chris, I'm going for points here. I'm not going for not going to end up in third this time.
I bet you do.
Probably.
I got 5 on it.
Yeah, you get 5 points total.
Yep.
That's all you're getting. I don't think that's possible. But
No more, no less.
the least amount of points you can have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Fewest you can have is 10 points. So, and Jared got 14. To be fair,
that's a guy who knows what he's doing.
Jared picked Wade Boggs in the first round of a Red Sox Mount Rushmore just because he likes Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So
It's a Wade Boggs.
Anywho, all right, Nick, your number 2 pick here.
My number 2 pick, I'm gonna go incredibly biased here.
Eric
I'm
Hosmer.
the biggest
Moose.
I am gonna go with my man Salvador Perez.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely have to go to Salvador Perez. 7-time All-Star, 5 Gold Gloves, World Series MVP, 44 Silver Sluggers, 4 Silver Sluggers.
That's impressive.
44, huh? That's pretty good. That's a dude who's been around the block a time or two.
Have to win it at 3 positions in one season, like every year.
Imagine.
I believe he also has a single season record for MLB record for home runs by a catcher, I believe, too.
Yeah, 48, and obviously it's the Royals record too, because I don't think anybody hit more than 40 in a season for Royals.
Yeah, I think it was like 34 or something was the record before.
Something like that, and I honestly can't remember who it was. It might have been Jermaine Dye, because
Maybe.
I know he hit some tanks for the Royals in the early 2000s. But Salvador Perez is just unreal. I think he finished 7th in MVP voting last year, and he just had the best season offensively by a catcher that we've ever seen. Since Johnny Bench, at least.
Right. All right. I got some options here. So part of me wants to be a troll, and there's a guy that immediately popped into my head when you said early 2000s Royals, and it was Billy Butler. I fucking love Billy Butler. But he's definitely not on the Mount Rushmore. If I get down to the bottom of it, I might just throw him on there if my team's just absolutely in shambles. I think I'm gonna go. This is tough. I'm gonna go Kevin Appier.
That was my next one.
It was between him. Like I want to get a pitcher on there because I didn't get a pitcher last week, and that kind of hurt me. It's between him and Greinke, but Appier played a lot more seasons for the Royals, so that alone is going to help. So I do have another pick. Interesting, good point. I'm not going to take Greinke though. I kind of want to go for a semi-modern player here. Another guy that keeps coming to my mind is Bo Jackson, but he played for them for like 4 years, 5 years. It wasn't that long.
No, it wasn't at all.
Yeah, very brief. So that's not going to help a lot. And because especially when we're looking at overall statistics, it's not like average doesn't come into place or anything like that. I'm gonna go Carlos Beltran.
Oh, thank you.
Respectable.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
who did you take right before that? Sorry.
Kevin Appier.
So
I'll tell you, it was between Carlos Beltran and the one and only Mike Sweeney.
I love me some Mike Sweeney.
I always thought that was like my favorite player in baseball as a kid because his name is so funny.
I really hope to see him in the show this year.
Oh, you can't. Oh, he'd be on my God Squad just because.
Awesome. Yeah.
He'd be like, just like Chuck Nasty is on mine just because it's Chuck Nasty. He's just one of my favorite players, like ever. His cards aren't that great, but I just have to have him on my team because it's Chuck Nasty.
Yeah.
All right, so Nick, you got your number 3 here. Should I elaborate on Beltran a little bit? I mean, all I had written down was won a Rookie of the Year, and he had 4 straight 20 home run, 100 RBI seasons. So I think he played for them for like 7, 8 years, something like that.
Yeah, he played there for 6.5 years, and he got traded halfway 2004 to the Astros.
That's right.
When they were on their World Series run. I think that was the year. I can't remember.
05.
I know they were in the playoffs that year.
Yeah, they won it in 05. No, the White Sox won in 05? White Sox beat them.
The White Sox swept them
in 05. Yeah.
In 05, yeah.
That's right. They had Jeff Bagwell and Lance Berkman, I think.
Biggio and Brad Lidge.
Yeah. Was Randy playing for them? No, Randy was on the Yankees in 05.
Yeah, he was on the Yankees.
He'd already left Houston, yeah. All right, so
I want to look up that roster real quick.
Kind of crazy.
That's a very interesting roster. I was looking at it the other day.
2005 Astros roster.
Let's dig into it. How did this even come up?
I'll look real quick.
Charles Beltran.
Brad Ausmus was the catcher.
Brad Ausmus.
They had Jeff Bagwell, Lance Berkman, Craig Biggio, Eric Bruntlett, Morgan Ensberg, Adam Everett.
Morgan Ensberg is a good one too. Adam Everett.
Mike Lamb, Jose Vizcaino, Chris Burke, Charles Gibson. I'm just looking at outfielders. Their outfield was kind of trash. Willie Tavares was decent. Pitching staff was Ezekiel Estacio, Brandon Back, Mike Burns, Clemens, Travis Driscoll, Brandon Duckworth, John Franco,
yeah. He was
Mike Gallo, Chad Harville, Brad Lidge, Roy Oswald, Andy Pettit, Chad Qualls,
Jesus Christ,
Wendy Rodriguez, Russ Springer, Scott Strickland, and Dan Wheeler.
That 1, 2, 3 Clemens, Pettit, Oswald is gross.
Yeah, kind of nasty.
That is very nasty.
That's 3. I mean, that's actually ironically, I think none of them are Hall of Famers. But all 3 of them should be Hall of Famers. Yeah. So I get you are up, Nick, with your number 3 pick here.
My number 3 pick is we talked about players who haven't been around for a very long time. But this man was around maybe 4 years. But I'm going with my man Wade Davis.
Ooh.
One of the best primes that a reliever could ever have.
Yeah, he was really good.
He was absolutely amazing. Let me pull up his numbers here.
He's the kind of guy, I put him in the same cat. Like Greg Holland was another one.
Mm-hmm.
Where I feel like you could argue a similar case to Wade Davis that he could be thrown in there.
He had an ERA in 3 straight seasons, an ERA of 1, 0.94, and 1.87 from 2014 to 2016. He was a top 10 Cy Young in 2014-2015 at 8th and 6th.
Wow, as a reliever,
and I believe
too.
he also had
That's
a top
crazy.
20 MVP too.
Wow. Yeah, he was a stud for a couple of years.
He was just amazing, and then he went to Chicago. He was solid. Then the Rockies, and he
Then he
died.
fell into obscurity, as players in Colorado do. I know.
Yeah.
All right, Cam, with your number 3.
All right, for number 3, I'm going way back, 70s. Amos Otis.
You.
That's a good one too. He was on my list.
5-time All-Star,
Oh my
3-time
God, Cam!
Gold
I'm
Glove.
gonna fucking roundhouse your ass.
He was second in stolen bases in Royals history and third in home runs for them. And fun fact, he was drafted by the Red Sox originally. Yeah. Sorry, Chris. Go figure it out.
Hey, Cam, lick my balls.
No.
Figure it
Figured
out. Trying to do some
God.
research to find my last pick here.
Yeah, well,
I know who it is.
Now I got back-to-back ones, and I'm.
I think I got a last pick too, but I'm
Yeah.
not too
All
sure.
right.
I'm gonna have to wait and see.
We're gonna try a meta here. We're gonna find out if this works. We're gonna go all
You're doing
pitchers
another
this
pick.
week.
Oh, God.
We're going all
You're
pitchers.
gonna make me do that with this fucking spreadsheet and calculate every single statistic.
You're
Sounds
damn
like
right I am.
I fucking hate you.
Oh God.
So with my third pick, I'm gonna go Dan Quisenberry. So it doesn't really see like, and it's tough with a reliever because he's not gonna have any Cy Youngs, he's not gonna have any MVP. Like he's not gonna have any of that.
Yeah, we're not doing the old Rolaids Reliever of the Year award.
I was gonna say
that.
he did win Fireman of the Year award 5 times.
Yeah.
And
So
that's
that
gotta be
would've
put in
counted
there.
your
Make sure
favor.
that's calculated.
Nah, absolutely not.
Come on.
This is your fault for picking all pitchers. I don't care.
238 saves as a Royal, 2.55 ERA, which is first in team history. Fun fact.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, kind of due to Kaka, but another guy with elite stash game. So, it's gonna have to do.
Can I guess who your fourth pick is going to be?
I have a guess, too, but I...
Is
Yeah,
it
I
We're
have
all
a guess too.
We're all
no,
gonna say it on three.
Go down the line. I feel like there's no way we all
All right,
have the
all
same one.
I have a choice.
All right, what do we
between-
think?
I, have a
I think
choice
I know who it
between two.
is.
I was going to say Mark Gabiska or whatever. Gabiska? I don't know how the fuck to say his name.
I would say
Valid guess.
Montgomery.
I was gonna say David Cohn.
Coney was one that I saw too, but again, didn't play too many years for him.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know which way I'm going to go here. It's kind of just. I mean, I'm not winning this week. Sam's going to win with George Brett. We are. This was over before it even started.
Yeah. Pretty much.
So just for just because, and just to take a guy who's still currently playing and actually plays for the team, we're going to go Zach Greinke.
Yeah.
Okay, I respect it.
All right.
I think I would have been surprised if he didn't end up on somebody's.
Yeah.
So Zach Greinke still in the league, still plays for the Royals.
Second stint with the
I
Royals.
can't really say still plays for the Royals. He left for quite some time, but
Want to Cy Young with him though?
see,
Like
it's all the
2010,
2009, baby.
2009.
look at that, all this shit up. I got a couple Cy Youngs in there. I got some Rolade Reliever of the Year, Fireman of the Year, whatever
Doesn't
the
count.
fuck you want to call it.
Doesn't count. Doesn't count.
I'll equate those in myself. I'll be changing the spreadsheet.
Dan, the human fire extinguisher. Quisenberry.
You know how funny that would be if he just ran out with a fire extinguisher?
Firing it off in the air. All right, Cam, with your final face chiseled in granite in somewhere in Kansas City, Missouri. Who are you taking?
Mike Sweeney. 5-time All-Star, over 200 home runs with the Royals. Played 13 years with them.
That's a solid pick, honestly.
Yeah.
it is.
I feel like it's a steal to get him in the last round.
Last pick.
It's pretty good. Pretty good.
How much you want to bet I end up with 10 points?
It might be pretty
No,
close.
I think
I'm gonna actually break the metric, and I'm gonna have a 9.5.
somehow. Yeah, no, I think the only way you could, or no, because what I did, if you tied with somebody, you would split the total points that were available for that position, but you can't tie for fourth. So you can only tie for third. First, second, or third. You can't tie for fourth. But yeah, all right. So that's Cam and Chris are set in stone. Nick, your final face.
My final
Bobby
pick.
Witt.
I'm gonna go with Alex Gordon.
Okay.
8 Gold Gloves, 2 Platinums. That's one of the best left fielders of all time. He started out as a third baseman, so that impresses
He's going to get you a lot of points just with his Gold Gloves. So.
That's what I went for.
Yeah.
Obviously led the team to the World Series, had a bunch of clutch moments in the postseason in 2014 and 15. He should have went home against Madison Bumgarner in the 9th inning.
True story.
Game 7 of the World Series. He should have. And I believe he was also a 3-time All-Star as well.
Wow.
All right, now I got some digging to do. I have no fucking clue who the hell my last guy is going to be.
I was going to go with a pitcher, but
you are scraping the bottom of the barrel right here.
Hey,
so I'll tell you, one guy I was thinking was Hal McRae.
I think you need to take Daryl Porter just because that guy also looks like a fucking stallion.
I think you need to lead this entire end this entire thing with the leader in drunk driving incidents on your team.
I gotta send this.
Who is?
BLB Discord.
That's
Damon?
-3.
I'm not putting Johnny Damon on my team. Honestly, Bo Jackson's not a bad shout either. The only thing is he only had 500 hits and Hal McRae had like almost 2,000.
Check this dude out. This dude's a fucking stallion.
Who
I
we
sent
got?
it in the Discord.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Look at that dude. That dude's fucking hot.
Bro, his chest hair is like a sweater on his neck.
hair.
Up to his throat.
He brings
Adam's
neck
apple,
beard
he
to a
just-
whole new definition.
That's
Great.
just continuous. It doesn't stop. It just keeps going.
I feel like you have to be a man of your word and take Billy Butler.
Let me look at his stats real quick.
I got him right here. A 99.3 fielding percentage is a
He
big
played 8
motherfucker.
years for them. Fuck it. Billy Butler. Put Billy Butler on my fucking Mount Rushmore. Put him
He's still
and
gonna
fucking
win.
book it. Because he actually he had 150 dongs, 1,500 hits, or 1,300 hits with the Royals. Hit almost 300. One-time All-Star, absolute stallion. He's not doing me any favors anywhere else. Fun fact, his nickname, anyone know what it is? Listed on Baseball Reference, at least.
I see it.
Country
have
breakfast. Country breakfast.
That dude's
Even
fat.
I
He
didn't
gets
know
the
that.
first
That's
base and
great.
he's fucking gasping.
Wasn't it? Was he still in the Royals when he did the thing against the Yankees when he put his hand up and he was jawing with the catcher and then he started a massive bench clearing brawl just like out of nothing?
I
Didn't he hit a
honestly
fucking
can't remember.
Hammercock home run.
Yeah. No, that's why he kept putting his hand up. They wouldn't give him time. He kept putting it up, and then he absolutely pisses on a ball and just turns and looks at the catcher. If there's gangster points,
No.
he's getting me some. I will tell you.
Hell no. If I don't get my Rolade Reliever of the Year awards, you don't get no fucking gangster points.
All right,
That's 5 awards
fine.
you're missing out on.
You can
True.
get an extra point for every 100 pounds Billy Butler weighs. You get
Oh my
4
God.
free points.
I get 900 points. It's like he had a 119 OPS plus for the Royals. So my team would just get in just between Billy Butler and George Brett could literally incite a fucking riot to take down the entire U.S. government. So so let's run down these teams, see who we think got the best team.
Hand me the participation trophy now.
God. Yeah, that's I don't know. I think Saberhagen and Greinke will get you some because didn't Saberhagen won 3 Cy Youngs?
He won 2 Cy Youngs.
2,
Two,
yeah.
and then you got 1 with Greinke. So that's points there. I don't know where else.
Yeah,
to get
go on.
points from.
Well, yeah, you got anything
And
else?
it at least might be more than 14.
It's true.
I just need to break 10. If I get like 10 and a half,
That's the all-time low. If anyone ever breaks 14, we have to buy Jared a beer or something. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or like I said before, make Jared butt chug a beer.
So bring my wallet this weekend. Got it.
Yes. We are seeing him this weekend, and I'll calculate before we go out. I'm probably going to do this tomorrow at work while I'm pretending to work. But yeah, I think it's going to be pretty hard for my team not to win just because I have George Brett. And Kevin
Not to
Appier,
lose.
'cause he has a lot. Yeah, I think he leads in inning or strikeouts. Maybe is that what he's the franchise leader in? Yeah, Ks. So that's a lot. I think Nick's team is probably second best. But if I had to guess, it's the draft order is probably the standings. Me 1, Nick 2, Cam 3, Chris 4.
You win some, you lose some.
You did it to yourself. You did it to yourself.
Did it to myself. I got the 4th pick. I don't even think there's 4 Hall of Famers in the Rays history.
You did it to yourself by picking 4 pitchers.
Yeah, it's a new strategy. I'm trying something different.
I'm just not even going to calculate the metrics for him. I'm just going to let you fuck yourself.
Hey, that's not nice. I participated. Fine. I deserve some kind of credit.
Give him
your
9.
Team, I will tell you, your team will win best facial hair.
My team is just full of stallions. I went for best looks.
Best looks or best facial hair? Because
best looks. Did you see Dennis Leonard?
Is that the one you sent in the Discord? Is that Dennis Leonard?
No.
Who is that? No,
that's a dude that is...
Who the fuck is that? What is his mustache? He looks like a bug. Let me show it on screen so we can see.
That dude's an absolute sex.
Turn on the brightness so you can see it. Yeah, look at that neck beard. It's a fucking sweater.
Lord, that mustache
makes you feel all kinds of way down yonder.
That's just a whole lot of man right there.
A man witch. But yeah, I think that wraps the Mount Rushmore. I figure we can do some little. We got some extra time. Maybe do 3 or 4 trivia questions, Cam, and then we can do some CADs. Do
you want to go trivia, or do you want to go talk about the rules real quick the MLB put in today?
Could do that. Forgot about that. Good point. So the MLB has solidified the automatic runner in extra innings rule for regular season play.
Big fan.
I like it, although I think I sent you guys this text. I almost wish they did it like the NHL, where they get to play 1 period of standard hockey and then they go to the shootout. I wish the 10th inning would just be straight up, and then in the 11th you bring out the automatic.
What's the NHL now? It's like 3-on-3 right off the rip, right?
Yeah. So I guess you are kind of playing with. It's not the same thing.
Like 3-on-3 right off the rip. Overtime's over in about 6 seconds.
I almost feel like they should add a rule that, like, say, like it goes past the 12th, you start with 2 guys on base, or the guy starts at third or something,
just to get these games over with.
Yeah.
And then there's the other thing they added. Yep. Position players can't pitch unless if they're in extra innings. Or in the 9th, if you're down by 8 or up by 10, then position players can pitch.
And a position player can't enter the game to pitch, right? Is that one of the rules? They have to already be in the game to come in and pitch, I think.
I didn't see that one. I'm not sure.
I think that was one of the caveats that they listed, that player already has to be in the game to come in to pitch, which makes sense.
Yeah.
It's just time. It's going to make the game go by quicker.
Yeah.
So. The other thing was World Baseball Classic announced that they're not using any of the new modified rules. So they're using the old bases, no band shifts, no pitch clock, which is, I guess I get it because it's its own entity, but still kind of weird.
Isn't it put on by the MLB?
No, I think it's like International Baseball Foundation. It's like, I think it's its own thing. I could be wrong, but I think it's its own thing. Kind of like FIFA is separate from like the Premier League or whatever.
That makes sense.
I could be wrong, but I believe it's its own kind of entity. It's got to be because it's not all MLB players.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yep.
So it might be affiliated with the MLB, but it's got to be like a separate kind of thing. But yeah, we forgot to mention those at the top, but that is good call on those. Some rule changes.
But, I got 3 that I see is pretty good for this week.
All right, let's hear it.
True or false? Tom Glavine was the only future Hall of Famer in the 1984 draft.
True.
False.
Nick, you got
True.
False. Greg Maddux was also taken in the 1984 draft.
Weird.
Fun fact, my buddy who I work with caught for Tom Glavine in Little League.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's from Mass. From Bill Ricca.
Tootin' is.
Wow. All right. Which of the following teams have gone the longest without a no-hitter? A, Boston, B, Philadelphia, C, Cleveland, or D, Pittsburgh?
I'm going to say Philly. Yeah, I want to say Philly. I can't remember was their last one Roy Halladay? And Pittsburgh, I feel like I can recall one. Who were the other two?
I'm trying to think.
JT Brubaker.
Red Sox and Cleveland.
Red Sox and Cleveland.
It might be the Red Sox.
I'm sticking with Philly.
Did
Rick Porcello throw one? Am I making that up?
Yeah, he did.
I don't think so.
Or was he close?
Might have been close. I think he was close to a perfect game.
Wasn't the last one Roger Clemens?
For the Red Sox?
Buchholz
Maybe?
had one.
Buchholz had one. Lester had one.
I always forget about Clay Buchholz.
Lester had one, too.
Everyone does. It's okay. No one remembers him.
Lester had one, and then Derek Lowe had one. Hideo
Yeah.
Nomo had one.
He had one great season, too.
Yeah.
Yep. His rookie season, and then he was trash after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
But
when
my
they
dream
found out,
matchup that never happened was him against Albert Pujols, because it would be Clay Butthole against Albert Pujol. But it never happened, so...
Dream
As far as
match.
I know, it never happened. But if it is, I want that. I want like one of those like frame screens in my office and just have that at bat on a loop forever.
I'm thinking about this answer. I don't even think this is right. It says Cleveland.
I can't remember
Their
the
last
one.
no-hitter was in 1981.
Did Corey Kluber not throw a no-hitter there? Because I thought...
I'm going to look.
He threw a no hitter for the Yankees.
Yeah, he did with the Yankees, but I could have sworn he did with the...
Yeah, I don't think he did.
The amount of
too.
good pitchers that have come out of Cleveland and not one of them has a
Yeah,
no-hitter
it's
with them?
ridiculous. Yeah,
Cliff
that's why I
Lee.
never thought it would
No,
be.
1981 was the last one.
That's bizarre.
Wow.
Len Barker.
That
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
shocks me.
Cliff Lee, Shane Bieber. Remember how good Fausto Carmona was?
It wasn't just a no-hitter. It was
CC
a perfect game.
Sabathia.
Oh.
They had some studs for. I mean, they've always had good pitching. That's
Are
basically
you
the only reason
alone?
they're ever good is they have good pitching. Their offense
Yeah.
is
The
never
last
good.
one before that was Dennis Eckersley.
Was that a perfect game, or was that just a no hitter?
No-hitter.
Okay. Back
Yep.
in his early days, I think that was like his second or third year in the league. All right,
Yeah,
Cam,
77.
wrap us
Last
up with
one.
the last one.
Name the only player who scored 6 runs in a game twice. A. Ty Cobb, B. Honus Wagner, or C. Mel Ott.
So like all from 100 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Ty Cobb.
I'll go Honus.
Just because Ty Cobb used
I'll
to
go
swipe
Mel
bases like it was his job, I'm gonna say Ty Cobb.
Naturally, Nick has to take out just to...
Well, somebody's right.
It was Mel Ott.
No,
Yeah.
this is bullshit.
Bullshit. How come you get all the easy ones?
Hip hop anonymous.
Hip hop.
All right, let's jump into some cards. I'm going to open the Dookie one first. So this is Score 1988. This guy's laying very promiscuously.
He's saying, I want you to paint me like one of your French girls.
It's very strange. So the catcher is in a squat, caught a pitch. Umpires like doing airplane arms. I don't even know if that's a safe call. He's very aggressive. And then this guy's just laying there. But anyways, let's jump into it. I'll only show him if it's like notable ones. That's a pretty good one, actually. Benny Santiago. Pretty good for a while. Willie McGee. Oh, boys, we got a screamer.
Oh, God.
Screamer. Jose Canseco.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
God.
Frame that. Put it behind
Hell yeah, brother.
Send it to get it graded.
Yeah, you're telling me this dude wasn't on juice? He went from a 5 home run season to 33 home runs. All natural, baby. We got Wally Ritchie. I don't know what the hell that is. John Davis, top prospect, Royals. Don't know if you know who that is. I don't know. Did he ever come to anything?
I don't think so. I've heard the name before.
He played for a team called Butt, so that's cool. Danny Darwin. Got a weird Yankee Stadium, like fucking holographic shit. Joaquin Andujar. Oh, this is a classic too. Wally Bachman. Pretty good. Frank DiPino. Rance Malinix. That is a name right there.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Who the fuck? Spike Owen for the Red Sox. Gary Renicky. Ooh, baby.
Gary Busey.
Appeared on our Mount Rushmore last week. Carlton Fisk.
Carlton Fisk.
That's a
all
good
right.
card, too. Kind of like that. Steve Lombardozzi. Malden native. From Mass. Luis Salazar and Willie Frazier. I'm pretty stoked on getting Fisk and Canseco out of that. That's pretty sick, actually. So now we're going to go into the real card. We got a Fleer pack. The good old wax paper. So looking for Tommy G or Edgar Martinez in this one. Or Nolan Ryan, I think, is another one that's worth a little bit.
Imagine. Nolan
Mike
Ryan.
Fitzgerald, Chris Bando, Paul Nose, Kenny Williams, Dave Anderson, Ernest Riles, Dion James. I haven't heard a single person of these. Dave Schmidt, Denny Walling,
I have no idea.
Mickey Brantley, Lance Johnson, Mike Heath, Donnie Moore, Odibe McDowell, and Mike Lacoste. That was steaming hot garbage.
You got a pair of scissors right there? Just
No, I'm going to burn them. Roll up a doobie in Mike Fitzgerald's Expos card. Yeah, the two dubs of the week right here. Carlton Fisk, Jose Canseco. Pretty good. Put those aside. I'll probably put those in sleeves, actually. That's pretty sweet. But yeah, I think that that kind of wraps us here for this week's episode. Thanks for coming on, Nick. Appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. I appreciate you guys asking me to be on.
Absolutely. Love having these.
We'll be having you back, Nick.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Once we get into the beef of the season and things like that, we'll be having you back.
You are our Royals insider. An Orioles insider, too, I think, right? Aren't you an Orioles fan, too?
And a secondary Red Sox fan as well.
Nick, feel free to do a little self-promo here as well, because we know you're starting a podcast up as well, right?
Yeah, we did our first episode on Saturday and released it on Sunday. It's called the On Deck Podcast. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, Anchor, Apple Music, and I believe that is it. I can send you guys the link tree.
Yep.
Yeah, send me all that stuff. I'll
We're
throw
going to
it in the
talk about
description.
MLB The Show stuff.
Hell yeah.
I think we're going to do a little bit of IRL, but mostly going to be MLB The Show.
I dig it.
Sweet.
I dig it.
Well, there you have it.
Maybe do a little collab in the season. Maybe some gaming vids between the BLB boys. Because
that's definitely got to happen.
Me and Chris
Steve
problems.
plays, right?
Yeah, Steve plays. Yeah,
me and Chris have, I think, like you
Cam
also, a bit of an
can
addiction to
commentate.
MLB.
Yeah, that's about all I got.
Yeah.
Not the greatest.
Cam plays like he plays with his feet, so
I do play with my feet.
Co-op friendlies? If co-op friendlies are a thing,
it needs to be.
Yeah, I hope
it has
it
to
is.
be.
that would be nice. That'd be the perfect collab.
Oh, that'd be amazing. That'd be so fun. Do like some squad builder type things. That'd be sick.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I think that that wraps up. Anyone else got some stuff to throw out there? Any new Netflix recommendations? Any movies?
I got nothing.
I just started watching Mindhunter. Pretty good.
Oh that show fucks.
Yeah, I just started watching it, and I don't even usually watch like I'm a big YouTube guy. I pretty much only watch YouTube, and I started watching it. I was like, God damn, this is a good ass show.
Really intense.
Oh, it's awesome. But yeah, I think that's all we got. We'll
There is.
catch up next week. This will be coming out a day late.
Tuesday morning, 10 a.m.
Tuesday morning, 10 a.m. We're a day late because of the Super Bowl. Didn't want to record because... Oh, sorry. The big game.
Oh, well, mute it. Gotta do it again.
And we got struck down. All right. Video does not exist. It's over for us. It's done.
Make sure
We're
you
done.
save this a couple times.
Yeah. All right.
We have backups.
It's a ping word on Riverside. Like, you said it! But yeah, so I think that wraps us. We'll be back next week. Do we want to do a Mount Rushmore next week?
No, I think
WBC
will take it up.
Yeah. You think the whole episode WBC?
Do a big deep dive
It's
into
gonna
it.
take some time, yeah.
So we'll probably just jump back into Mount Rushmores once we got light weeks or whatever.
Yep.
All right, cool. Sounds good. So we'll be back with WBC next week. We'll have the outcome of the statistical analysis of our Mount Rushmores as well. See who came out on top. Should be interesting. And then so we'll catch you next week. Thank you everyone for liking, commenting, subscribing, all that stuff. It puts us in the good graces of the algorithmic gods on YouTube. So it helps push the videos elsewhere. So thank you everyone for sharing all that good stuff. Make sure that subscribe, and we'll catch you next week. Take you out with some Darude, as usual.